he was too young and a little too late to the punk game to get brought up to the big time, and all the smaller clubs didn't want to have punk anymore because they got tired of the cops coming, the fire marshal coming, and everything getting smashed every weekend, and kids ending up in ambulances and stuff. We had nowhere to play, and then the goth band, me and my partner had a falling out, and we were too ahead of our time for the goth game. Otherwise, we could have been the next Nine Inch Nails or whatever before there was a Nine Inch Nails or Marilyn Manson. So that didn't work out.
What year was this?
83 to 89, more or less.
Pretty Hate Machine came out in 87, and their song Head Like a Hole was the movie Class of 1999. You know that post-apocalyptic high school movie?
Maybe.
It has the robot teachers in it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the only way I could get Cody Cup into school was to promise him free drugs. Now he wants to die.
What's going on?
I was trying to get my medieval metal band together all through the 80s and 90s, but just couldn't seem to solidify the lineup, and so I joined Migrain instead. And I ran with that, and I was taking it really seriously, and, you know, I was trying to back off from the partying and all that, but those guys went headlong into the party.
Don't they know the order of shit? You get famous first, then you become a heroin addict. Come on, guys!
And it's like the opposite of Pickles, the drummer, who was in like a Guns N' Roses style glam metal band.
They were known as Snakes and Barrels, a tough group of rock thugs from the wrong side of the tracks.
And then, when that didn't work out because of the drugs, ended up joining Death Clock and being a speed metal guy.
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Today's episode is brought to you by No Thanks to You.
Welcome
to a brand new Washington Venom rant that goes nowhere.
Oh yeah!
Like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you want to see
Captain Marcus McCunwell and crew, capered privateers of the Royal Crown, also known on the high seas, Captain Anarchy. You and your crew stand accused of treason on the high seas against the American colonies. How do you plead for you and your crew, sir?
I started growing my hair out and found some guys through the recycler, and I ended up joining a punk metal crossover band that was basically a speed metal band that kind of sounded like Anthrax, but with some Black Flag influence.
Oh my.
They were based out of, the South Bay area, where they had a pad that they rented a house and they all had rooms.
Whatever.
I ended up joining their band, and we called ourselves Migrain without the E on the end, because it just looked lame with the E on the end, so we dropped the E. So not to be confused with a band that came out later, like in the 90s or whatever, that was called Migrain. It was like what people refer to as hardcore style, where they do kung fu in the mosh pit or whatever, like new metal. I can't go! We actually dressed like Droogs from Clockwork Orange, but we reversed the colors. And we used to play like at the KNAC nights and tear it up. We had a guy named Steve that did all of our merch and stuff for us. We recorded a great sounding demo tape right away, had killer graphics, bumper stickers, flyers. We were putting a lot of money into the band, and we were moving ahead fast. We got hooked up with Henry Spiegel from the Red Light District, and he started doing these side clubs, mostly because of our band, actually. He did one called Trash Can. It was more of a thrash type club. And then he did one called the Black Bra, where he had strippers in black lingerie stripping on each side of the stage while the band played. And that club was a cross between glam metal, heavy metal, and speed metal bands all playing together, trying to kind of unite the scene, which kind of further introduced me to the glam metal scene some more, because we started playing with glam metal bands from the strip at clubs like the Black Bra, and played there with a band called Hear 'Em Scare 'Em that the hot chick guitarist was at the time the girlfriend of Tom Araya from Slayer. He was there that night, and he loved our band so much that he jumped on the lighting board and started giving us like an incredible light show. We all wore different types of underwear with combat boots. And then I had like a bum trench coat. And we brought a shopping cart into the club, and we put it on the stage. One of my friends got inside the shopping cart, laying on his back, and my other friend was pushing him around on the stage. It was big chaos from major principals. And we threw newspaper all over. Like, my friends dressed up like Captain Anarchy and came out there and introduced us and said, you gotta excuse this next band. Henry Spiegel, the promoter, found these guys outside in the alley getting drunk in the dumpster, needed an extra band to play. They said that they had a thrash metal band, but they misunderstood. They thought that the club was called the Trash Can, so they just showed up in their usual bum attire to play for you tonight. So please excuse their appearance and forgive them for the misunderstanding. This is Migrain!
And then what happened?
So then I said, I'm going to give this scene a chance, man, you know? I'm going to start going to check this out. So I started going up on the strip to the Whiskey and the Roxy and Gazzari's, and then later it was Billboard Live, and then the Key Club, and watching the Zeros and Big Bang Babies and LA Guns and Faster Pussycat and Pretty Boy Floyd and all that stuff. You know, there were tons of chicks hanging out at the Rainbow and drinking and partying, and I started really finding an appreciation for all of these bands, even the more bubblegummy ones. I was like, okay, you know, I get it. It's a rehashed version of glitter rock power pop from the 70s, just trying to be kind of pretty boy looking so they could get chicks, and that there was an endless supply of hot chicks that loved dudes that had the look and that played in those kind of bands, where the bands were more bubblegummy or they were heavier.
Whatever.
Then Migrain broke up.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We started playing on the strip with glam bands, and the glam crowd actually really liked us, especially the chicks, because we were like the big, bad, tough guy speed metal band. And every single one of us would be coming home with 8 different shades of lipstick all over our face and neck and chest. And what happened is, all the guys in the band got stripper girlfriends, except for me.
Oh, snap.
All the stripper girlfriends were making great money, and these girls basically moved in, and they were all about paying the rent, all the power bills, paying for gas, paying for drugs and booze, and they were paying for rehearsals and merchandise at first as well. And those guys started getting into not just heavily drinking, but doing blow and stuff like that. And I was trying to get away from doing that stuff. I was trying to sober up and clean up my act and take the band more seriously, because I saw that it was the tail end of the speed metal era in the very early 90s. I saw that we had a small window of opportunity to maybe, if we played our cards right, get signed as like the last speed metal band to get signed and go on tour opening up for Anthrax. Basically, the way like in the glam scene, Pretty Boy Floyd, they're largely thought of as the last glam band to get signed, and then they just got dropped and the glam scene was over and major labels wouldn't sign anymore. I saw the same thing was going to happen to speed metal.
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
And I saw that we had this small window of opportunity to maybe be the speed metal equivalent. If we played our cards right, we could be the last speed metal band to get signed and make it big, and then maybe they'll like drop us and use us as a tax write-off. Or
Whatever.
at least we get $1 million video out of it. I had the vision. I saw that it wasn't too late. And instead of stepping up the game even more, those guys decided that they didn't want to go to work anymore. They wanted to let their stripper girlfriends support them. So they all quit their jobs. And that was fine at first until their girlfriends got sick of us coming home all the time with 8 shades of lipstick all over our faces and necks and chests. They got jealous. They realized that the band was going somewhere. They cut off the funding for the band. And so the rehearsals, recordings, and merchandise came to a grinding halt very fast.
Like a vampire giving me a blowjob.
Watch videos of people on YouTube reacting to fucking YouTube.
Coming soon to both Lost Anarchy magazine and Don't Watch Mojo channels. We got some badass graphic novel reviews.
And the Masters of the Universe.
Eternity War Volumes 1 and 2. Also got some Ladies for the Gentleman. Hitchhiker's Guide by DC Comics.
The celebrated best-selling novel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
What is this thing? It's the guide. It's got everything you need to know to survive in the universe.
Well, I can't wait to start that. And Married Children 2099.
And then...
Some more Star Wars Legacy. I don't got all of them. I'll have that collection real soon. Now officially uncanon. And of course we got Grendel. Yeah, we got a few more of those.
And then...
Scud, Disposal Assassin, the whole shebang, which is big, giant Bible size. It's huge. Stay tuned and be on the lookout for Lost Anarchy magazine, issue number 19, out June 16th, all over basically LA and some other places. And shout out to our patrons, Count Morivond, My homie from the Rainbow. I'm not gonna say what he does, but this guy is badass. Check out his channel. He does a lot of stuff on satanic poetry and other satanic Bible studies. And also a shout out to one of our other newer patrons, Janitor Jake. I've been a fan of his for years, and
talk about nostalgia, huh?
And of course, shout out to our usual patrons, Ryan Zacher and the Fly Attractor. We're living in a
Check out our Patreon and linked in the description, as you can tell, and support our cause. We don't get paid for this shit.